Okay, well, here we are at Candlestick State Park. So we came from over there, over there, and we're on the edge of this tip right now. Is the fishing dock. So let's see. Can you say me? Yeah, we still have audio. Alright. So we are we're right here right now. We're at this point. We were over here earlier, and so this is discussing the vulnerability to sea level rise. I wonder if we can have this read to us. That would be cool.
Skip to main content. Home about U.S. Contact U.S. Publications. PRA request. Parks Director. Public notices. Accessibility and parks organizational structure. Opportunities. Off. Vehicle Recreation Division. Office of Historic Preservation. Division of Boating and Waterways. Commissions. Find a park events. Safety tips. Rules and regulations. Historic sites. Dogs in parks. Maps. Travel tips. Live video gallery. Weddings at state parks. Filming and photography. Reservations and fees. Sales dates. Availability. Search. Camping information. Annual passes. Adventure pass. Manage reservations. Guided tours. Hearst Castle tours. What's new. Parks Newsroom. Parks blogs. Significant incidents. Updates. Frequently asked questions. Jobs. Job postings. Exam announcements. Careers. No recruiting. Seasonal and part-time. Law enforcement. Careers. Volunteers. Parks host. Students. Programs. Grants. Commissions. Park management. Arts in California. Parks. Outdoors for all. Planning for a changing landscape. Outdoor youth connection. Boating. Safety. Kids. Outdoors. EV charging. Explore ports. Cultural resources. Natural resources. Interpretive programs. Summer for kids. Educators. Community involvement. Candlestick Point State Recreation Area. FAQ. Site improvements. What site improvements are included in Candlestick Point State Recreation Area's general plan? California State Parks is actively planning for site improvements at Candlestick Point State Recreation Area, SRA. Improvements include upgrades to lighting, restrooms, utilities, trails, and parking lots, as well as the creation of new recreational facilities such as a boating center and windsurfing launch ramp. More information can be found at our general plan for the park. Where is Candlestick Point SRA in the planning and building process? Currently, Parks is in year 2 of its preliminary planning phase of implementing the general plan and will move into the working drawings phase next. The state has invested $2.66 million from Prop 68 towards this first phase and has estimated construction of this phase to cost approximately $40 million. Because of the status of the state's budget, we are not sure when we will be able to advance to the working drawings phase. We will update the public as soon as we have more information. Are there other site improvements in the works outside of the general plan implementation? In addition to the capital outlay projects outlined in prior budget acts, the department allocated an additional $2 million to Candlestick Point SRA in the spring of 2024 through the California State Parks Waterways Connection Initiative. We are working to encumber this money, some of which has been delayed given the state budget deficit. We will inform the community when we have a more accurate timeline to share. With this money, state parks will fix the public restrooms and restore light to parking lots.
Yeah.
We are in pre-design phase with engineering firm Mott MacDonald on this work. Replace picnic tables, fire rings, and grills. We have purchased grills and fire rings and will be installing them in the next couple of months. Rehabilitate the second fishing pier. We are working to encumber this money. Acquire new kayaks and fishing equipment to expand the recreation opportunities. While we have purchased the kayaking equipment, we will not be able to begin this programming until we are able to hire a recreation specialist. The paperwork necessary to post this position to be filled has been submitted. How will Candlestick Point SRA be affected by the eventual development of the land where the stadium used to be? State Parks has an agreement with the City of San Francisco's Office of Community Investment and Infrastructure, OCI, for land transfers and related considerations for the transfers as authorized in SB 792 in 2009. There will be city infrastructure such as outfalls and street lighting on park property, and park boundaries will change. Given that OCI is the lead in the area's development, State Parks will cooperate with the city's schedule so that work is not redone in designing the park boundary area. Given that there will be significant grade changes given sea level rise considerations, where will funding come to complete the work outlined in the general plan? Funding will come from the land transfer considerations, the state budget, and outside fundraising for grants and donations. When the planning process is further developed, we plan to continue work with our partners such as Literacy for Environmental Justice, the State Park Foundation, Parks California, and the community at large on fundraising strategies for specific elements of the new design. What is California State Parks doing to plan for sea level rise at Candlestick Point SRA? It is important to California State Parks that we carefully plan to protect the shoreline of Candlestick Point State Recreation Area from future storms and ensuing sea level rise. To achieve this, we retained Moffitt & Nichol, a global infrastructure advisory firm, to study how various wind and wave projections might affect our park over the next 100 years and to recommend ways we will be best able to mitigate these effects. As illustrated in Figure 4.1 from the Moffitt & Nichol study, our shoreline varies greatly in terms of how vulnerable it is to wave action. Some areas are relatively sheltered, level 1 in pink, while other areas are more exposed to the elements, level 5 in red. Because of this, Moffitt & Nichol recommend that we use a mix of strategies to protect the land, from natural solutions such as enhancing the shoreline with salt marsh or beach areas to more engineered solutions such as using riprap or building a seawall. Maintaining public access to the water is one of the paramount goals for our design. We will continue to update the public as our preliminary drawings for the implementation of Candlestick's general plan take shape. Yosemite Slough. What is Yosemite Slough? Yosemite Slough is a water channel located between Hunters Point Naval Shipyard and Candlestick Point State Recreation Area, SRA. It was originally part of a broader watershed in what is now McLaren Park that connected the former Yosemite Marsh and other natural springs with the San Francisco Bay. Historically part of the bay's rich tapestry of tidal marshes and mudfloods, Yosemite Slough was once a biologically rich ecosystem that supported a variety of wildlife, including many migrating birds. Is Yosemite Slough polluted? Between 1940 and 1970, much of the slough was filled in with soils, crushed rock, construction materials and other waste to create more usable land. Before the 1980s, stormwater carried untreated sewage into the slough. Nearby industrial activity also caused a mix of chemicals, including lead and polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs, to build up in the slough. The sediment in Yosemite Slough can be harmful to humans and animals, mainly when it is directly ingested or by eating shellfish or fish from the slough. Direct contact with the sediment is mainly an issue for animals that feed or live at the slough. Because of these risks, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, is planning a cleanup of the site. The Yosemite Slough site is considered separate from the adjacent Hunters Point Naval Shipyard Superfund site. Candlestick Point SRA maintains signs around the slough that alert the public to the contaminated sediment in the slough. What happened with the California State Parks Foundation's restoration and public access project? With the support of generous donors, the California State Parks Foundation invested millions of dollars into restoring the wetlands around Yosemite Slough and improving public access to that area of Candlestick Point SRA. Phase I of this project was completed in 2012. This first phase included demolition of defunct industrial warehouses, other unused buildings, and roads. The land was formed to create undulating hills and restore more of the natural shoreline of the slough. Thousands of native trees, shrubs and perennials were planted with the help of local nonprofit Literacy for Environmental Justice. Phase 2A began in 2020 and included the construction of core infrastructure to improve public access to the park, including trails, perimeter boundary markers and a parking lot along the park's north shoreline area near Yosemite Slough. Repeated acts of vandalism, arson, illegal dumping and other unlawful activities have impeded the progress of this restoration work. What's going on with Yosemite Slough now? To protect public safety, California State Parks currently keeps the parking lot closed to the public. Although pedestrian access to the northern side of Yosemite Slough is still available, we employ continuous armed security guards who stem illegal activity in the area in collaboration with city agencies, including San Francisco's police and fire departments, Department of Public Works, and Department of Emergency Management. California State Parks actively engages with multiple partners in coordination with the U.S. EPA to advance the cleanup for the Yosemite Slough site. Amended in 2023, the cleanup plan calls for digging out the polluted mud in the slough and replacing it with clean material to better protect people and animals, to maintain the previously restored nearby wetland habitat and to avoid recontamination of Yosemite Slough after its future cleanup. The plan must align with the cleanup of the Hunters Point Naval Shipyard Superfund site. As of fall 2024, the EPA estimates cleanup of the Yosemite Slough site will begin in 2027. Where can I find updates on Yosemite Slough? Please visit this link for more information on Yosemite Slough from the US EPA. Former stadium site. What's going on with the former Candlestick Stadium site? 5. The developer with the rights to build on land where the Candlestick Stadium and surrounding parking lots once sat, plans to create a mixed-use development in the area, with both commercial and residential districts. The Office of Community Investment and Infrastructure, OCI, is the lead government agency who manages this redevelopment. Work on the underground plumbing and electrical infrastructure necessary for this project is planned to commence in late 2025/early 2026 and is projected to take 2 years. Information about the redevelopment of this site can be found on OCI's website. While California State Parks communicates with OCI and 5 as we continue to execute our own general plan. Our land is adjacent to the site and our involvement is limited to strategic planning to ensure that continued park access and park infrastructure aligns post-redevelopment. Last updated May 13, 2025. Related pages: Candlestick Point SRA General Plan, Candlestick Stories, an oral history, Sunrise Point Campground, volunteer opportunities, birding at Candlestick Point. Connect with Parks and Rec. Sign up to receive the latest state parks news directly to your email. Important link. Safety tips: bikes, EV charging, free passes, parks mobile app, dogs in parks. Buy it where you burn it. Follow us, contact us. Have a question? Use the contact us page. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved. Frequently asked questions is conditions of use, privacy policy, accessibility, accessible park site map.
Okay, that was a lot. So that's where we were earlier. I don't know if you can hear me with the wind. But we were up on that top right. Remember the trees and stuff, and we're walking. That's where those trees were. Can you hear me? Oh, just turn way down.
Live stream intro you can read right from the rail.
Oh,
Open quote. Hey everyone.
hey.
Welcome to the North Fishing Pier at Candlestick Point.
Hello.
I brought you here because this single spot tells the whole story of how political deals keep redrawing public park borders. And that's exactly the playbook we need for the Santa Monica airport fight. Look down. The first few pilings land on a 1960 seawall poured for the Giants ballpark. Step 3 meters forward, you're on a 1990 seismic add-on that nudged the legal shoreline another car length into the bay. Every extra board was negotiated, first by stadium boosters, later by community activists, and finally by developers swapping parkland for condos. From this vantage, you can see almost every border version at once. Behind me, the flat Great Lawn. That's all that's left of the stadium pad, waiting for 7,000 promised housing units. Off to the right, Bayview Hill's missing flank, quarried in '58 to make the fill we're standing on. Across the water, those low mounds are the new living shoreline test berms, pushed out in 2024 so the park boundary can flex again for sea level rise. We're collecting footage and samples, sand, microplastics, even algae on the riprap, to show how every policy decision leaves a physical trace in the landscape. Later, we'll line these traces up against the runway edges at Santa Monica to prove why any future land swap there has to lock in acres, deadlines, and climate buffers before the first slab is torn up. So stick around. Next stop is the Shell Mound Bluff, where the original shoreline still peeks through 3,500 years of history and 50 years of politics. Close quote.
Okay, robot. That was. Okay, okay.
The San Francisco Mayor's Office and master developer Lennar are asking the state of California to approve the trade of 25% of Candlestick Point State Recreation Area for economic development.
I'm Marcel Wilson, director of Bionic. We're a landscape architecture and planning studio based here in San Francisco. My firm is part of the technical team assisting Archicology in their assessment of the impacts and benefits of the Candlestick Point and Hunters Point development. The city and Lennar are proposing to build and develop on over 25% of the state park that I'm standing in right now.
This map, created by Lennar and the city, shows how much of the state park they are planning to take for the new development. The portions of areas 1 and 2 on the map are called underdeveloped, but in reality they are a meadow and grassland, the site of a recent $1 million rehabilitation project by the State Solid Waste Management Board, and a simple gravel parking lot that costs little to maintain but generates around $800,000 a year, nearly half the park's budget, by providing overflow parking for San Francisco 49er football games.
That development will be built on areas like the one I'm standing in now, and in areas that are commonly perceived as neglected, such as the parking lots. To put this in a different way, everything to my right, townhomes will be built on, and that will leave less than 200 feet between where I'm standing and the water's edge.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Jesse Mason, Arch Ecology's employment specialist. We put young people in the construction trades. I grew up in this area. I was born and raised right there behind me on Navy Road, Baby Hunters Point, right inside the shipyard. My father worked for the Navy as a laborer. I can remember growing up and looking over here around Candlestick and playing over here, coming from Navy Road to Candlestick Park to enjoy myself as a young man. I was no more than about 7, 8, 9, 10. And we used to climb that hill. We enjoyed those things. That was an outing for us. The Giants came to San Francisco in 1958. The city of San Francisco decided to tear down our hill and build a stadium. Well, that eliminated us from going to the park. That killed a lot of our playtime. We had to make do in the area. But that park was an area that I'll always remember, because that's when the communities came together. We fought for this park. We fought hard for this park. We need to protect this park. I know that the city wants to take 25% of it to do some building, but we need to protect this park.
So, you guys live in the community, long-term residents, born here. The area behind us is all going to be taken for the development project that Lennar and the city are cooperating on. How do you feel about 25% of the park that you helped build being taken?
Well, I don't think it should be taken, because we worked out here years. We've been out here since the 60s, and we have built this park. We all most of the stuff from Fillmore, Presidio, and we didn't have one load out here, right, Brown? Was it more? Kennard was on the other end.
Yeah, Kennard Trucking.
Yeah.
My feelings about it is I think that it's a beautiful state park, and it can represent not only Baby Hunters Point, but the city and county of San Francisco.
Right.
I think it's beautiful. And for them to build homes here, when I understand they're supposed to build private homes on the other side there in the shipyard, I think they should leave this here for the other citizens of San Francisco and people that come here to visit.
Environmentalists and concerned residents aren't opposed to some changes in the shape of the park, but we don't think the city and Lennar have justified why they need the land and why they need an agreement from the state this year. It will be a minimum of 5 years before the 49ers move into a new stadium. That means it will be 2014 before Lennar can begin building on the state park land. The 49ers could play at Candlestick until 2023, another 14 years. That would put housing construction off even longer. Voter-approved Prop G said nothing about taking land from the state park. With no increase in rent, the parking lot would still generate $10 million towards the park's budget over the life of the lease. There are few state parks that generate that much revenue without making people pay an entrance fee. Can you think of any other neighborhood in the city that has been asked to give up 25% of its park, like the Presidio, Marina Green, Golden Gate, or Dolores, to make way for development? Can you imagine any neighborhood that would?
Yeah, so what as I lay here and think about stuff. So we've got the park, and the baseball field. So 16 years ago, they wanted to develop this. Well, I don't know whatever happened in the last 16 years, but whatever. So then you've got a revenue stream that could totally be working and to help develop or renovate or reclimate or whatever. They cut that back. So now we have no income for the town. The town's dying. And the park gets nothing. There's some small, I've saw some small rehabilitation of some plants and stuff over here. I'm curious about those mounds I was talking about. It's just so, I mean, we in Santa Monica, we have an airport. It makes money. Yeah, the money goes to the airport, but let's figure out a way to have the city make the money from the airport or something. I don't know. So many questions. But the moral story is this is something that's not, this is old problem. Old problem. Been going on for a while. Yeah. Okay. Let's let's change some lenses, I guess. We don't need this long lens anymore. Okay. Okay. Oh, you're not gonna hear anything I said. Way too low. I have. Did you hear? Oh man, I doubt you heard anything I said about the. Okay, so got the stadium, which had a profit stream with the parking lot. Man, the Double do work is sucks. Okay, so you have the parking, you have the stadium as a parking lot. The parking lot was generating money. The money could have been used for the reclamation for the naval yard. The money could have been used to help with the seawater level rise. But the real estate companies seem to be pushing heavy, so they started getting in on. They wanted to cut 25% of the park for the real estate, and then it just like you just see it. It's terrifying. All right, I want you guys to make want to present the evidence, and you guys to make up your mind, not me tell you that that was a video from 16 years ago. 16 years ago. The softball girls in the city council, they weren't even alive. Okay. I think we should try and migrate. Let's go. Where are we? Let's start with that. All right, we're here. Oh, let's go around over. So we have high. Let's see. Okay, so this is high. 5 is level 5. Level 1 in pink. Some areas are relatively sheltered. Level 1 in pink. Level 5 in red. That's this. This wall is level 5 in red. Whoa. Okay. That's cool. Let's go see some sheltered. I guess we're off-roading. How far is this? I don't want to do this. This wasn't on my itinerary. I guess. Let's protect the camera. We're just roaming down a dirt road and this thing's hanging out. Don't need it. Will fit in my pocket? That'd be cool. It's no trash littering. Oh, there we go. It's my pocket. Fine. Whatever. All right, regular filmmaking. So much harder. It's just so much harder. This regular filmmaking is fun. This is just way hard. Like the technical challenge and the engineering challenge of what I'm doing is way. I mean, like I've done cool stuff. Like this is like hard and fun and does that make sense? I'm gonna freaking look at this. It's This is so cool. I mean, I like you don't even understand. Like, this is like the earliest prototype of what I'm imagining. You don't even know how long I've been searching and imagining various things. This is literally like, oh, my ankle hurts. I need something real fast. What can I get at Target? Boom, here's a Target. So like, look at the beach chairs. We've got AI beach chairs. We have Big Dog. We've got all this shit now. Like, people come here. I'm gonna ramble. There, a flag there, flag there, flag there, flag there, flag there. So they're doing stuff. We got different color flags up there. There's a blue flag, green flag, blue flags, whole bunch of blue flags up there. Uh, okay, let's go. So we got one of the largest on the U.S. West Coast. San Francisco Bay provides critical habitat for thousands of species, animals, birds, fish, healthy wetlands, high level water, quality pollution, flood control, and biodiversity. They also provide recreational enjoyment, economic stability, and natural beauty. We've lost so many of these wetlands, but we're getting some back right here in our own backyard. Little ground squirrel. All Buddha's in playing with looking at those ground squirrels. Fresh water from Sacramento Rapids flows to Santa Fe from estuary where Miami see here diverse and species. Candlestick. Climate change poses a new threat. Community lives in response. So again, we're in a state park, so this is a state park sign. What's literacy for environmental justice? Literacy for environmental justice. And then California State Park. Okay, so this is over. The peninsula is back over there. We started our journey up on the hill over there. This is the whole state park, the whole curve of the bay. This is the pink area. Over there, right in that area right there, that's where the stadium was. The town there, the impoverished town connecting the two towns with the Navy Yard over there. That's man, California state parks are so cool. You know, you guys don't. I mean, I don't know like where y'all have been or what you've seen, and I don't know if you guys realize, but man, this stuff is so cool. Even when you get to like the parking lot over there, it's just like the classic California State Park sign, the wood, it's remote. I feel like I don't feel like I'm near San Francisco. Like this is, I'm in the, I'm in, this isn't, this is, it's different than a city park. This is, there's very little like stuff. It's this. It's trees don't like radio signals. You know, we go under the tree and let's go. Good boy. having a party. Whoa! Look at the halibut. Oh, sick. Okay, so did So bathroom's closed. All there is that the it's the porta potty. It's really nice though. So that's the main entrance or an entrance to the old Candlestick. So that's the that was the border. So the question is every step there's been lots of play in that land right there. So let's go over there and let's take a look. Okay, so I think I mean, how long do you guys want it to be like this for?